On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, we're going to be talking about preventing falling object hazards. So stay tuned.
Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, Warehouse Safety Tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast.
On today's podcast, we're going to be talking about preventing falling object hazards. And we want to talk about two things before we do that. And that is making sure, number one, that you're always training on the subject of any safety, but in this case, preventing falling object hazards. And that's going to be with new employees and existing employees on a regular basis. So things are always top of mind. And then the second thing we want you to consider is, although our tips are always solid safety information, make sure that you follow the guidelines, rules, and regulations of your specific facility so that everything that we're telling you is applicable. If it's not, make sure you follow those rules and regulations at your specific facility. And now we want to get into the tips. The very first thing we want to talk about is implementing a strict shelving protocol. That's going to be making sure that things are not any higher than shoulder height to avoid having to have a improper reaching distance. And then the other thing is making sure that you utilize appropriate lifting equipment and tools such as forklifts and step ladders. And then the second thing is going to be secure and balance loads properly. Make sure that the loads are stored on shelves in a secure and well-balanced manner. Use restraints like netting, railing, or shelf lips to prevent items from tipping over, and then regularly inspect load stability as part of your safety checks. The next thing is going to be number 3, educating on proper stacking techniques, making sure that unstable loads can't easily topple. Educate your team on the importance of stacking heavier items on lower shelves and lighter items on top, and make sure you follow all of the manufacturer's recommendations on weight limits and stacking procedures that maintain shelf integrity and prevent collapse. The next thing is going to be number 4, which is regular safety audits. Make sure that you conduct regular safety audits to identify and address potential falling object hazards, and make sure that you go through and properly address any issues that you find to make sure that you maintain a safe working environment. Last but not least, and something that we should actually cover on a regular basis, is the proper use of PPE or protective equipment, or personal protective equipment. Ensure that all employees have the necessary personal protective equipment, such as hard hats, safety goggles, and steel-toed boots, just to name a few. PPE acts as a critical line of defense against injuries from falling objects, providing an additional layer of safety for workers in areas that have any hazards that could possibly happen. So follow these 5 items. You're going to be well on your way to a safe workplace. And again, make sure you observe whatever regulations you have at your specific facility. Thank you for being part of yet another Warehouse Safety Tips. Until we talk to you next time, have a great day and stay safe. Here is a word from one of our sponsors.
It's scientifically unexplainable. It's virtually indestructible. And it's taking over the entire planet. But in a really good way. It's Mighty Line Floor Tape, the most durable floor tape in the world. 7 times thicker than average floor tape. Beveled to endure pounding warehouse traffic, and backed with a super strong peel and stick adhesive, so you'll never have to worry about painting shop floors again. Mighty Line Floor Tape, the only durable stripe.